It's Margarita, and today I am doing a spring declutter. So one of my more recent videos, I talked about the effects of social media on fragrance buying and the FOMO and the need to feel like you have to keep up with the trends. And let me tell you, this has been very relieving to not have bought any fragrances in a long time. In fact, I've been paring down my collection even more. The past year, I've been paring it down, and I'm just really trying to have it curated to where there's only things that I'm excited about reaching for, not just things I'm trying to use up because I bought it just because it's here, or things that are taking up space. So in this box next to me, it's about 20 something fragrances in here. I'm not going to show all 20 in this video, but I will show you some of my impulse purchases and swaps and otherwise acquired fragrances that I will be letting go of. Number one, House of Sillage Blissful Moments. Their packaging is so beautiful. And who doesn't love anything with a Disney theme? This bottle is beautiful, but it has been on my dresser for months, and that's just what it's been. It's just been decorating my dresser. I have not reached for this except for one time. This bottle is completely full. It's nice, but I'm not wowed by it. It's a nice, sweet, clean fragrance. It is truly a blissful moment. But me being someone who loves heavier gourmands, this tends to be something I'll relegate more to an easy reach or before bed fragrance. And, you know, at the price point of this, I need something that gives me more. So this one, it's got to go bye-bye. And in line with the first one, I've got number two, Joyful Escape, also by House of Sillage. This one I actually like more than the Blissful Moments one. And I thought I was going to like the Blissful one more because it seems to be more feminine leaning, but this one is sweeter. This is really nice, but this one is a bit too sweet. I know, right? One wasn't sweet enough. The other's a bit too sweet, but it smells really good. This is a syrupy sweet fragrance. If you like something that is syrupy sweet, definitely go for this. In fact, I've got reviews of both of these on this channel. You can feel free to search it. But this is it's just not me. Now, the thing with the House of Sillage fragrances is that they're blind buys. Unless you have made a previous purchase and they sent you a sample card in the mail with that, you really don't know what you're getting, no matter how great of a description it may have. And so I went into this knowing, full well that these were blind purchases, and I may or may not like them. And I did like them, but I don't love them. So I'm going to rehome them to someone who will maybe love them or at least get use out of them. If it's you, you can go to my website at whistlenotes.com and you can check out my bottles for sale there. Numbers 3 and 4, also a pair, if you will, are Penhaligon's A Balm of Calm and A Kiss of Bliss. And these are from their Potions and Remedies collection. I had another one, Vrar Vrar Vroom, which I was able to exchange for Pink Me Up right there. So I really wanted that was on my wish list, and I was able to swap that out to someone in a local Facebook group. So that's great. These two have also got to go. I don't dislike them. I just don't reach for them. I was in Bloomingdale's. I was having a moment. I was excited. The adrenaline was going. I was like, oh yes, I do love the apothecary style bottles. But I realized, again, what I spent, I don't feel the value for it because I'm not wearing them. I've only worn these a few times, and I've had these for about a year now. And I don't love them. They're likes, but not loves. I've layered them with things. So someone else has got to love them. Another one is Alchemia by Royal Crown. Now this one people like a lot, but for me, it's just too, I can't even really describe. It seems a bit medicinal, for lack of a better word. It's a bit too mentholated, if that makes any sense. I got this in a swap from someone in one of the fragrance groups, and I like the bottle. And what I'm learning is I'm not learning it. I know this about myself. I'm an aesthetic person. If it's got a pretty bottle, I'm inclined to want it just because I like looking at it. But if I don't like smelling it, what's the point of having a fragrance that looks nice, but doesn't smell like I like it to smell? Guess it's like people too, huh? Anywho, but Alchemia, this It's great for someone who likes anything that's aldehydic, who likes freshies, who likes citrus, who likes medicinal scents. Think if you like Baccarat Rouge, which is not my favorite. If you like things along those lines, if you like Metalique, Abracadabra, things like that, this would be something you'd like. Those are not ones that I like, but I like the name. This one I got for the name, alchemy. I'm really into esoteric things and spiritual things and crystals and stones and things like that. So the name is what got me on this one more so than anything, because this was a blind swap. If a fragrance has a name that I don't like, I won't buy it. It's got to resonate with me. So, because I believe that words have power. But this is Alchemia. So maybe it can be alchemic for someone who enjoy the scent. The next one is by Juliet Has a Gun. Now, there's only a couple of fragrances I actually like from this brand, because what I found, their fragrances tend to be a bit meh for me overall. There is one I do like. It's a purple bottle. It's over there. What is that? Lilac, or let me see. Lily Fantasy. I love that one. And that is the only one that I seem to like so much from that brand, because that one is actually a nice take on lilies. But was more of an for me. This smells like flat soda. If you like cherries, if you like almonds, if you like tonka, you may like this. I don't quite care for those notes. If you like hypnotic poison, this is like the little sister to that. I was not hypnotized and I found it completely poisonous and I cannot wear that. So if you like those types of scents, if you like soda scents, then would be good for you. Another one I got, this is also in a blind swap, Alien Goddess. Now, Mugler fragrances I typically don't like anyway. There's only one that I like and I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's not Alien. Aura was probably one of the worst things I've ever smelled. Oh, I can't think of the name of the one that I did like. I can't think of it, but anywho, yeah, me and Mugler fragrances aren't typically friends, but I like the bottle, and because it had the name Goddess, again, I'm a words person, I figured I'd give it a try, and I don't hate it. It's just a bit too mature for me. If you are someone who likes truly mature fragrances, not so much old lady, but this is definitely an after 5 scent. This is something you just think of someone dripped in gold with head adornments and things like that. And my nose is more of a straight edible gourmand versus something super sophisticated and, for lack of a better word, gold. So Alien Goddess can go someplace else. This one, Maison Mataha Brownie Pop, another blind buy because I like edible gourmands. So I thought that the name Brownie Pop would be an edible gourmand. Not really. This is more of a coffee lover's gourmand versus a pastry lover's gourmand. I do not like the smell of coffee. I do not drink coffee. I worked at Starbucks for a year. Couldn't stand it because I hate the smell of coffee. So when I got a fragrance that was supposed to be chocolate, but it smells more like a mocha latte versus a chocolate milkshake, I was a bit disappointed. I don't hate this fragrance, but I do not reach for it. And so someone who likes more of a coffee shop scent will love this. This one was probably my biggest disappointment. Vanilla Baby by Truly. Also got this in a swap, and vanilla is my favorite fragrance note. I love vanilla. Vanilla. I can never get enough vanilla. That said, there is nothing special about this vanilla. This smells very winey. Not winey like person cries, but winey like alcohol. I guess if you like Vanilla 28, you might like this. Vanilla 28 is a bit overrated in my opinion. It's just so it needs to be layered. This is not a standalone vanilla. Vanilla 28 is not a standalone vanilla, in my opinion. Don't come for me because I know that's a cult classic for vanillas. But by me being a vanilla lover, and I've smelled just about every type of vanilla there is, I was expecting more from something that says Vanilla Baby. Maybe a vanilla with a lactonic note because you have the word baby in it, or things that babies like sweets and candy and things like that. But not for me. And the last one I'm going to show you, there's more in this box, but these are just some of note that I got, for the hype. Memo Paris Lalabella. I love their Centra because it's just It's a nice floral gourmand. But this smells scary, for lack of a better word. This is very mature and not for me. It's floral, it's ambery, it's resinous. It's not gourmand. I think that any fragrance I have has got to have a gourmand note for me to really want to have it. So Lala Bella was not Bella for me. Well, let me know in the comments, what fragrances are you letting go of this spring to make room for things you truly love? What inspires you to buy, sell, or trade a fragrance? What makes you want to add it to your collection? What makes you say, I'm on the fence about it, let me think about it? I'd like to know in the comments. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anyone and everyone. And if you see something you like in this video, or if you'd like to check out my whole collection, if I think it's worth sharing, it's on my website, wilsonknows.com. And until next time, I am Margarita, and you have an awesome day. Bye.